Hey, what's up with it, people? Recently, the KUVA Sobek released, just yesterday, in fact. I was planning on doing a little video where I just redo the test portion of the Sobek from my last video, where I was basically, it was a Saren guide and also kind of an opinionated hit piece on weapon builds for Saren. I don't think weapon builds are good for Saren. So I was planning on doing a retake of that vid because people, well, the weapon demonstration of the Sobek part, because people were they took issues with my Sobek build. It admittedly wasn't super optimized, and so I took the liberty of just entirely copying the Sobek build from another content creator. So if anyone has any issues with it, they can take it up with them instead. At bare minimum, y'all can't tell me I didn't do my research, because I just carbon copy pasted this and Saren. Literally everything is carbon copy pasted, even with the companion and the secondary weapon, everything. The only thing that's different is Cleanse Grenier is now primed Cleanse Grenier, and we now have the KUVA Sobek instead of the Sobek, which just means literally just better stats and toxin bonus, which is even better. Just all around better, better, better. So I figured I would do a test video showing both the KUVA Sobek and in comparison to just like my normal like shieldgate spore DPS build, and why I still think it's pretty bad. Anyway, also yeah, see, I completely copied. I literally made a new Saren for this. Okay. I was gonna show this one here. Yeah, see, I made two Saren. I made a new Saren for this. So I went in deep. Okay, I made sure I could get a full carbon copy. I got the toxin shards on deck. These should also increase the Sobek damage, cast speed there, and of course your corrosive stacks. I will also say, I still don't think venom dose is actually particularly helpful on the Sobek, but you know, I'm copying the build here. You know, I'm just copying it because I don't know if you noticed, but this only like helps you strip the primary target of your Sobek. Like, it won't help your explosions at all whatsoever, and it takes like several shots for it to even strip with corrosive damage. So it kind of makes no sense to me, quite frankly. It makes sense in a lot of other weapons. Well, not a lot, but like the dual liquors, for example, sure. But you know, if you're trying to play a corrosive platform, I'd recommend Lavos instead. Weapon platform. For Saren, I think it's spores, honestly. But let's put it into practice. It does, you know, it wipes people when you shoot them and they have spores on them. So that's cool. This is a anti-Grenier build, so let's go to an anti-Grenier place. Let's go to Titan. I also, one of the complaints I got was that I went to the KUVA Fortress and they're like, well, this like map layout is better for spores. Obviously, you need like flatter terrain. I was like, okay, fine. Sure, let's go to a flatter terrain level. This is one of them. And I guess I'll start the thing before putting my buffs on. And venom dose on. A little annoying that venom dose is just up there in the buff bar like that, but oh well. I honestly think you should probably just put like revealing spores here instead of toxin lash, but whatever. But yeah, as you can see, it does make enemies blow up. Cool. They do blow up when you shoot them, and like all the enemies in your line of sight blow up. I still don't think Molt is worth keeping. I think miasma is better, but you know, weapon build. It makes sense for a weapon build, like I said in my vid. I just don't think weapon builds are that good. But yeah, it does make them blow up when you shoot them. You know, there's that. There's not really much crowd control in this build though, so I have to keep pressing Molt and I'm running out of energy. Not a huge fan of that either. But they do stay pretty spored. And it does make them blow up in little AoE when you shoot them, so there's that. You know, it's okay, I guess. You know. Thanks, Nautilus. He helped pull. There we go. Cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the tech where I shoot the secondary to give him some shields. There you go. See, now I'm at energy. Alright, there we go. Yeah, see, I'm not a huge fan of this build anyway, just because of the energy. It's not great. That's part of why I use Nourish on my shield gating build for spore DPS instead of roar, which seems counterintuitive until you realize miasma spam and actually having energy to stay alive when shield gating is very important. I also use the Grimoire for that, as opposed to the like Dex Furious on this guy. But again, I'm just copying that. I mean, maybe it's a little BM to do a like, I copied a content creator and now I'm saying it's not that good a build compared to. It's a good build for weapon, you know, it's very optimized. You know, no hate to them, honestly, you know. I am copying it for a reason, you know. I have no complaints with the build decisions. Maybe galvanized shot because it doesn't help the explosion at all, but they mentioned as much. But I mean, you can't do much to help the explosion anyway. It's like roars about it, so. But yeah, I mean, it like does kill the enemies, you know. And like a little, see, like it blows up and does an AoE. So that's cool. Yeah, see, they all blew up, kinda. Not bad. I mean, you do also have to keep them spored because it, as I've demonstrated before, it literally does nothing if the enemies aren't already full armor strips. Because they'll just take the brunt of the explosion and nothing will happen. Unless they're really weak enemies. But if we're talking steel path here, yeah. Not hitting the heights. Look how much I have to spam molt. I don't know. But I mean, it is fun and performant. I mean, granted, you also don't have to do any spore ramping. That's something in its favor. So if it's just like an exterminate and you like really don't want to do like any spore ramping or anything, maybe. And like for a defense or something, because you like are forced to lose all your spores between rounds there. I don't know if we even got the yeah, they weren't even spored, I don't think. I don't know. See, I think revealing spores even on this build would be better. It's still hard for me to like. I hate not being able to see the green icons on my minimap. In case you didn't know what revealing spores does, it makes the enemy icons on your minimap green if they're spored. I didn't explain that earlier. And you'll see it in the comparison vid. Let's see, we got our venom dose on too, I can never tell. Okay, cool, let's blow up yeah, there we go, nice room blow up. Nice, it blew up a room. That is not very good in comparison to not even letting enemies in the room in the first place, quite honestly, but... Oh my god, I'm getting shot up. Bro, I'm getting shot up. I have no energy. There we go. Jeez. And this is even like way higher skill intensity, Jesus. I don't know, man. Like, my spore miasma build, shieldgate, is way comfier. I didn't have to do any of that crap to survive. But it's cool. It does work. You know, there's that. It does blow up little rooms like that if you can get them all primed and right next to each other in a little conga line. I'm such a hater. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna show it in comparison to. The proof will be in the pudding. The comparison will be on deck. So you'll see. I'll show the kills we get here. Unfortunately, I'm quite upset about this, honestly. They don't show in the stats, like, how many were ability kills and how many were weapon kills. It'll show melee kills and it'll show headshot kills. But not the like, honestly, they should break it down to, like, secondary, primary, like, all those things. I wish they had a lot more stats, honestly. Like, I want to see percent damage actually reduced by adaptation on deck, you know? But that's asking for too much, I guess. Alright, it's about to be time here for the survival. I've demonstrated that you can indeed, you know, blow up little rooms with the Sobek. But not my favorite, regardless. Is there no acolyte at any point? I don't remember. It's weird. Well, whatever. Usually there's an acolyte to kill. I was like, this is Steel Path, but they are the right level. Yeah. That would have been awkward if it was not Steel Path. Admittedly, it had a chance because I was doing KUVA Lich stuff, which I turned Steel Path off for because there's no reason to do that. I don't think you can even do Steel Path with that, so I don't know. Maybe I didn't need to do that, but whatever. So let's see what the kills we got here was. We got a solid 744. Oof. That's not my favorite. Admit, you know, there's some skill issue there. You could say I could be doing that better. I'm not super used to the playstyle of using, you know, KUVA Sobek Saren, or any Sobek Saren, so you could probably pump those numbers up with better performance playing. But as far as I'm concerned, not really great, quite frankly. All right, now let's put on my comparison build. This is shieldgate, and since you might not want to sift through an entire video to watch, of course it's also using the 2 corrosion stack shards. Instead of toxin damage though, it's using ability damage on enemies, because we're doing a spore DPS build, and the same cast speed shard. So basically the same, except just instead of toxin, it's ability damage. And I made him Tau Forge because I like her. Anyway, and the build itself is, well, I mean, I go more into depth in that one video, but just for a little brief thing here, it's just shield gating, energy, really long range, strength pumping, ult augmented, good strength, all that. And we use the Grimoire to get even more energy along with Nourish. And we basically just get our strength buffs up early on, spore some enemies, and start spamming Miasma. And let's see how that performs in comparison, okay? Because it's probably going to perform pretty good, I'd say. I think I'm even just using a Smita Kavat instead of using like a specific Nautilus Pole Companion, because you definitely don't need any of that. Let's see how it performs. Okay. I'm pretty sure all I have to do, is for my strength buff on this build is simply stand in this thing, and get my vigor proc up, and that's all I need to do to have maximum spore strength there. Wonderful. And get my energy thing up. And now we're cooking. Wonderful. Now, admittedly, very early on, you'll see the room is not immediately blowing up. But it's kind of getting close enough already. And within literally like 60 seconds, these guys are going to be really, really hurting. And I can guarantee you our spore DPS is going to exceed the Sobek, what it can do. And not only that, we get these pretty green arrows on our map everywhere. This build is actually kind of hilarious in that it uses 3 different Exilus slots. I got Cunning Drift on deck, I got Revealing Spores, and Prime Sure-Footed. But only one could be in an Exilus slot. Alright, yeah. As you can see, enemies are already kind of having difficulty entering this room, this very large room at all. And that's rough for them, but not for us. Ah, shoot. I didn't get that book buff on anybody. Might be struggling on energy a little bit here. But it's pretty easy to get book buff back up. And you'll see that this is also significantly comfier than the other build, because not only are enemies getting kind of nowhere near us, they're getting stunned by Miasma this whole time. So that's giving us a lot of stonks, I'd say. Alright, let's try and get our energy there back up. Sometimes you gotta like give it a little bit of a rest just to get your energy back up. I may be a little too trigger happy on the Miasma spam. It's not like a high efficiency build, and you might want to keep it a little more breezy, you know what I'm saying? But usually if you just have your Nourish up and keep popping your book buff so that it doesn't run out, you'll be pretty good on energy. This used to be a lot better before they nerfed Nourish and made it give less energy in general, but can't all be winners. I guess I'll spore them. Maybe didn't need to do it. You want to avoid actually casting spores as much as you can, because that lowers your spore meter. The thing in the bottom right there, that's what's making our damage ramp up. See, we're already at 417 kills. I think we're on pace to outpace the last one, the Sobek builds, if you ask me. And reminder, this is like Steel Path, you know? People are like, it's not Steel Path viable. Not seeing it, homie, quite frankly. It looks pretty viable to me. Don't know what y'all are smoking. But yeah, see, this is why I'm using Nourish instead of Aurora. The energy requirements are pretty rough. My Gloom build, there's an alternate Gloom build which is even comfier. That one's actually, oh, oops. Oopsie. It's even comfier. Has maximum efficiency is what that one goes for, which is part of why it's even comfier, but also because it's Gloom. Did I use yeah, I did use an energy pad. It's because I fell down the gap, otherwise I would have been fine, I think. I purged all my buffs. I still don't like that that's a thing in this game. I don't know why falling down a gap purges all your buffs, but whatever. I'm not the design police. JK, lol, I frequently am. I wish I could be, dude. Devs hire me. Fucking get me on board. Yep. As you can see, enemies are having difficulty even entering this room. I don't really understand why people complain about the whole ramp thing when the massive AoE melts is kind of a bigger deal. I don't know. Seems to me like the fact that enemies die a little bit more slowly than instantly blowing up from the Sobek is not really the greatest issue when you start to inflict the damage from a much wider range and on basically every enemy in the entire level. I did also have one person tell me that spores don't spread through line of sight except for the first spore. And I tested that again in Simulacrum, and they are incorrect. Spores just don't ever need line of sight. So just a little pro tip for you there, in case you were wondering. Which, it's not a thing I had ever wondered before, but apparently some people are under that belief. If I'm wrong, show me some proof. I'm pretty sure I tested it well enough to disprove it. Granted, I didn't make a video on it or anything, but trust me on that. Let's see where we're at. Oh, 832, already more, and significantly easier. Much, much easier. Still haven't seen any acolytes, though. I don't know what's going on with that. It's pretty strange. But yeah, they're struggling. Ooh, we're about to lose our spores. Unfortunate. Sometimes you kill so well that spores are just not gonna make it, and you have to recast, which is unfortunate. You do want to avoid recasting manually as much as possible, like I said earlier. But sometimes it's just it plateaus somewhere eventually, you know. Like eventually the spores are just gonna kill too fast, and you just have to do what you gotta do, you know. There we go. There's an acolyte. Let's put away the book for this. What do I even have? The boar. I love my boar. Auto shotty baby. Oh shit! I got the magnetize on me. It's not actually the best. It's kind of a meme weapon, honestly. But I love my boar. That's my AA-12 build with 50 rounds in the tank. Hell yeah! All right. Anyway, that's the mission. Let's see. We're at 1K already. Yep. Easy game. And I'll just keep pressing 4 as I go to extraction because it's very easy to do that. And I'll just keep getting the kills while I'm doing that. Although, admittedly, I just popped another energy pack because I just ran out of energy. But that's because I haven't been keeping my book buff up. Book buff up. That's a skill issue. A lot of skill issues here. I was worried that was a magnetized thing. I don't think they actually put magnetized doors in survival. I don't think I've ever seen it. Those are like for survivals. I mean, sabotages and the like. Anyway, all just academic bullshit. But yeah, I think that I made the point that I don't really get why people are all about the Sobek. We now have the KUVA Sobek on deck, and it still was not really doing the trick for me, gotta tell you. So, I mean, maybe I'm just a hater. Feel free to draw different conclusions. I think I did, you know, an appropriate build test. Maybe it was a skill issue, but I mean, if anything, that just demonstrates that this is a much higher skill floor. Which means it's super easy. You just run around spamming miasma. Didn't have to think about it. Alright, that's the whole video. I hope y'all enjoyed and learned something, and I hope I didn't rain on anyone's parade. I hope, if you're still a KUVA Sobek and God, what's wrong with me? KUVA Sobek enjoyer, don't let me be the fun police. You know, I feel free to blow up your rooms and have fun with that. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's as performant. But you know, you do you. Have fun. Alright, so if you appreciated it, I mean, you don't have to do anything. You know what? Live your life. I love you. Peace. Bye.